Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 461 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. This episode is coming out late on Tuesday for a variety of reasons. But I want this episode to elicit some and produce some thoughts to help you to look at colleges at all levels so that you can find one so you can participate in your sport in college. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest running athletic recruiting education podcast, giving you a weekly 15-minute episode with recruiting advice and tips from me, the owner of Recruit Me, LLC, and the father of 2 college student athletes. Like the introduction said, my name is Brent Hanks. You also get information from many guests on interviews. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is just one of many free and inexpensive recruiting resources to help you save time, money, and stress as you, the student athlete, and your family navigate the recruiting journey. Recruit Me gives you the free Recruiting Power Pack, a free monthly newsletter, free answers to recruiting questions just by emailing me at brent@recruit-me.com. The cornerstone to Recruit Me is the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System. It includes a 200-plus page step-by-step manual, workbook, and worksheets to guide you through the DIY recruiting journey. The Recruit Me 3.0 system is only $39, and you can get access on the recruit-me.com website. Go there now or right after you listen to this episode. A few times this spring, Recruit Me has posted on Facebook and X pictures of other social media posts that gave a recent look at college baseball and softball programs that are listed in rankings throughout the last season. Posts like D1 Softball Mid-Majors Top 25, which was on March 6th. A link to top JUCO teams and their rankings. D3 rankings. A D2 rankings alert with top 25 in the NCAA Division II baseball. And NAIA top teams, plus an NCAA Division I mid-major rankings. All of these were on March 4th. The reason that Recruit Me posted these was to show just a few of the ways to find schools for potential college student athletes, to help them research for their college school list. Developing a college school list is an exercise from step 1 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship in the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System. Check it out on the recruit-me.com website. Finding rankings on social media and on websites can introduce the potential student athlete to schools they may not have ever heard of or considered. Following or Googling NCAA Division I, NCAA Division II, NCAA Division III, NAIA, and NJCAA, which are JUCOs, can give you each level's top 25, their mid-level teams, and even some of the less successful teams. This exercise can be done for any college sport. Not only are there top 25 rankings, but during the sports season, you might see a post with teams with the longest winning streak and teams with the longest losing streaks. Again, this is an exercise to help you build your own college school list. The college school list worksheet is one of 3 valuable worksheets, along with the parameters worksheet and the college research worksheet in the Recruit Me 3.0 system. Most potential student athletes know the top teams in their sport. Colleges like Oregon, UCLA, Colorado, Texas, Nebraska, LSU, Michigan, Ohio State, Kansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Miami, Georgia, Connecticut, Maryland, Duke, and North Carolina are just some of the everyday, most ESPN-known and social media represented colleges. These and more top colleges have high-level, top 25 sports across the board, but some are well known for just a few sports. An example is Penn State. They are well known for football, but not so much for baseball or basketball. Connecticut is known for men's and women's basketball. They are high level at other sports too, but not as top of mind aware as the top sports. As a potential student athlete as a sophomore in high school, you may only want to pursue the top teams in the Power 4 conferences in the Division I level. Conferences like the SEC, ACC, Big Ten, and Big 12 are the Power 4 conferences. But each conference has year in and year out conference winners, and each conference has teams in the conference that are consistently in the middle of the pack, and some teams are just kind of the bottom dwellers. Parker, my older son, pitched for the Big Ten Northwestern Wildcats. As we, as a family, researched Northwestern, we saw the baseball program had been at the bottom or the middle of the Big Ten standings for years. Parker was able to compete for innings as a freshman and get innings throughout his 4-year career. That would have been possible, but tougher at Michigan or Nebraska of the Big Ten. In Parker's recruitment, he had contacts with Arkansas as a recruit, and also St. Louis University, Missouri, Oral Roberts, Kansas, and Missouri State. All of them except Arkansas were mid-level or in the mid-major category of college baseball. We realized that Arkansas was a program that he would have really had trouble competing for innings, but the other mid-D1s fit his skill level very well. The Northwestern decision gave him an opportunity to get on the field and compete at the highest level of college baseball. He got to play against Michigan, Nebraska, Ohio State, Purdue, Notre Dame, BYU, Duke, South Carolina, and would have got to play against some more high-level D1 teams, but he had one season erased because of COVID. Parker had high-level and mid-major D1 teams on his college list. He also had many high-level NCAA Division II teams and one high-level NCAA Division III team. We did not have Recruit Me or very much guidance throughout Parker's recruitment, so I feel that there were many colleges we could and should have looked at, but Northwestern ended up being a great fit both athletically and academically. Back on March 4th, I posted these questions to potential student athletes. You want to play Division I college baseball? Are any of these teams on your college school list? The picture was of mid-major Division I rankings by 11.7. The list had early season teams having success. Teams like UC Irvine Anteaters, the Troy Trojans, the Dallas Baptist Patriots, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, the Florida Atlantic Owls, the East Carolina Pirates, the Liberty Flames, the Grand Canyon Antelopes, and the McNeese State Cowboys, just to name a few of the 25 on the list. The point is, if all you have are Power 4 conference teams and their leaders on your college school list, then you are possibly cheating yourself on an opportunity to play your sport in college. As the NCAA basketball and baseball championships are going on right now, along with other spring sport championships, this is a good time to see teams from all over the country on the brackets and also watch them on TV or online. In the NCAA Division I baseball championships, they had 30 conferences and one independent team represented at the start. The SEC had 13 teams, and the ACC had 8 teams. The Big Ten had 4. The Big 12 had 8. And then the American Conference, the Big West, Conference USA, they had 2. The Southern Conference, the Horizon, the Patriot, the MAC, the Sun Belt, the Ivy, the Northeast, the Ohio Valley, the AUSN, the A10, the CAA, the SWAC, the Southland, the South Conference, the West Coast, the Mountain West, the Big East, the Summit, the WAC, the American East, and the Missouri Valley all had one team. Teams like Eastern Tennessee State, Miami, Ohio, University of Arkansas Little Rock, Houston Christian, St. Mary's, and Murray State, to name a few of the NCAA Division I tournament teams. They were considered mid-level or mid-major. The conferences with the most teams like the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 should dominate and make it to the Super Regionals, right? Well, the teams left that are going to the Super Regionals are Louisville, Duke, Florida State, North Carolina, and Miami, all from the ACC. Then Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, and Tennessee are from the SEC. West Virginia and Arizona are from the Big 12, and UCLA is from the Big 10. The University of Texas San Antonio comes from the American Conference. Coastal Carolina from the Sun Belt. Murray State represents the Missouri Valley, and Oregon State is an independent. So how did Murray State make it through powerhouses like Ole Miss and Georgia Tech? And West Virginia got through Clemson and Kentucky. Coastal Carolina ran past Florida, and Louisville got past Vanderbilt. Plus Miami barely slid past mid-major Southern Mississippi, as did LSU over University of Arkansas Little Rock. And UCLA did end up upending UC Irvine. In the women's D1 softball championship, they mostly have power conference teams left. Mid-majors that made the tournament are St. Louis U, Santa Clara, Southern Florida, San Diego State, Eastern Illinois, Belmont, and Omaha, to name a few. With the current nature of college sports and NIL and the transfer portal, many of the best underclassmen on mid-majors will possibly be moving programs next year. This brings up an important recruiting point. I looked at the Miami Hurricanes' current baseball roster, and 16 of their listed players came as transfers from other four-year schools. The transfer portal changes rosters all over the college sports world in many sports. A major point of all this is to consider a lower-level D1 team or a Division II or even an NAIA and get on the field or on the court. Oh, don't forget about junior colleges. If you get playing time, you can transfer to other, possibly bigger situations. It is nice to get a big splash when you commit to a high-level college. You get newspaper, social media, and pats on the back when you commit. But those are hollow if you don't get the right fit. Not only is having D1 mid-majors and even not as prominent programs on your college school list important, but also have NCAA Division II and Division III schools. And again, don't forget about the NAIA or the junior colleges. If your goal is to play for majorly successful teams and well-known colleges in your sport, then a stair step from another level may be your ticket. But if you find the right fit initially, then you may decide not to transfer. The goal of this episode was to enlighten you with ways to build and expand your college school list. Also go back and listen to past the Athletic Scholarship Podcast episodes found on the recruit-me.com website and any of your favorite podcast apps. Episode 228, A Recipe for Your College List, Ingredients Included. Episode 323, Is Your Future College to be Found on Twitter? Episode 337, An Inside Look at the NCAA, NAIA, and NJCAA websites, Searching for Colleges. Episode 345, The Baseball Bluebook, a free recruiting resource. And episode 397, Resources to Build a College School List. Remember, RecruitMe is for high school student athletes wanting to play their sport in college. But college athletes with the transfer portal can still use RecruitMe. And junior college athletes can also use RecruitMe. RecruitMe is good at any level and at any sport. I'm sorry for the tardiness of this episode, but text sometimes doesn't work for a while. Please like and share the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. And join me next week for the world's longest running athletic recruiting education podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.